Welcome back, everyone. I am so excited you're here today because we are going to unpack something that is just truly fascinating. Now, at first glance, the subject of today's explainer might seem, well, entirely ordinary. It's a simple children's movement song. You've probably heard variations of it 100 times without giving it a second thought. But when you actually take a step back and break down the text of Run and Have Fun, Class has Begun, you don't just find some random assortment of toddler games. No way. You actually find a highly structured masterclass in behavioral sequencing. So let's dive right into this and see how a few catchy, playful lines can literally engineer human behavior.
Right off the bat, we have to start at the threshold. This opening line, "Run and have fun, class has begun," acts as our core motif. And it isn't just a cute little rhyme, right? It's actually a psychological boundary. By explicitly stating that class has begun while simultaneously giving permission to run and play, this refrain establishes a really clear, safe transition zone. It's essentially telling the listener, okay, we are crossing over from unstructured time into structured time. But don't worry, I'm going to guide you through it using the language of play. It anchors the entire routine. So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The anatomy of a routine. 2. Physical activation and energy. 3. Fostering social connection. 4. Coordination and directional cues. And finally, 5. The mindful cool down.
Let's start with Section 1, the anatomy of a routine. Deconstructing the sequence. You know, if we treat a room full of toddlers like highly energetic kinetic expenders, we absolutely need a plan. And notice how the vocabulary maps out here to do exactly that. We have our high-energy actions, things like stomp, spin, run, hop. But right alongside them, perfectly paired, we have our low-energy regulators, tiptoe, deep breath, smile, slow. This text deliberately toggles between these dual physical states. It pushes the throttle all the way down and then, very gently, it pulls it back. It's essentially teaching kids self-regulation through rhythm.
Moving on to Section 2, Physical Activation and Energy, Gross Motor Isolation.
The architect of this routine knows for a fact that you cannot simply ask an energetic group to sit down and focus right away. That's a recipe for disaster. You have to strategically expend that pent-up kinetic energy instantly. Just listen to this consecutive rapid-fire sequence. Hop on one foot, wiggle and run, clap your hands, stomp your feet, spin like a top. I mean, the tempo practically leaps out at you. The pacing here is designed to be breathless and bouncy. It floods the system with physical feedback, completely isolating those gross motor functions so that the body is fully 100% engaged before the mind is asked to do any heavy lifting.
And this is a brilliant illustration of the design's efficiency. Throughout the entire song, the chorus repeatedly drills down to exactly 4 essential gross motor activations: hop, clap, spin, and wiggle. That's it. Just 4. It doesn't overwhelm anyone with 20 different complicated moves. Instead, it relies on a tight, repeating quadrant of actions to reliably and quickly reset the participants' physical baselines over and over again.
All right, Section 3, Fostering Social Connection, from self to group.
Once the body is sufficiently activated and that initial chaotic burst of energy is out, the routine's architecture makes a truly brilliant pivot. We start out with this very internal, physical focus, hopping, stomping, basically just managing one's own body. But seamlessly, the lyrics transition to an external, academic, and social focus. We hear things like books in our bags and look to the teacher. The routine smoothly redirects a child's attention outward. They are no longer just a body in motion. They are now actively engaging with their shared academic tools and their community leaders.
Let's actually linger on this specific lyric for a second. Smile at friends, say hello, dance with a friend, share bright cues. The lyrics are literally acting as a script here. They are explicitly programming pro-social behavior and community building right into the middle of a physical workout. It completely normalizes positive peer interaction as just a natural, everyday step in the routine.
Which brings us to Section 4, Coordination and Directional Cues, Multi-Step Processing.
Having established physical readiness and social awareness, the routine now intentionally upgrades the cognitive load. Check out this vertical physical combination. Step 1, hands on your head. Step 2, then touch toes. This forces participants to actually process and execute sequential, multi-step instructions. It connects the top of the body to the bottom, crossing spatial planes, which, believe it or not, requires a much higher degree of active listening and neurological engagement than simply jumping up and down in place.
And watch how this builds even further. Step 1, jump to the left. Step 2, then to the right. We are now explicitly drilling lateral directionality.
The song is cleverly ensuring that physical engagement also serves as a cognitive milestone check, like, can the group distinguish left from right while in motion? It's stealthy, active assessment woven right into playtime. Absolutely genius.
Finally, Section 5, the mindful cool down, preparing for rest.
As we enter this final, most critical phase of the behavioral sequence, the entire structure of the routine changes. The tempo drops, the rhythm steadies. Take a deep breath. That's all the text needs to say, because that's exactly what it commands at its climax. This minimalist instruction signals a complete shift in the environment. The frantic, bouncy energy of the beginning is carefully guided into a calm, prepared stillness. The routine is deliberately downregulating the group's nervous system, taking all that harnessed energy and bringing it all the way down to a gentle, resting pulse. It's perfectly preparing the mind for stationary, focused learning.
And it leaves us on this beautiful, positive note. Reach for the sun, big smiles, now we laugh and run. This final stretch perfectly combines an elongated physical extension, reaching upward, expanding the chest, with deeply positive emotional reinforcement. The cycle finishes with joy. The transition is totally complete, and the group is ready to learn.
Which brings me to the thought I want to leave you with today. We've just deconstructed how a seemingly simple little song actually acts as a profound mechanism for transitioning a chaotic group into a focused community. It manages energy, social connection, cognitive load, and mindful regulation. So, I have to ask you, if this highly structured transition mechanic perfectly prepares a child for their daily work, what could a similar, intentionally designed routine do for your adult workday? Think about the boundaries you set, or maybe don't set, before you sit down to focus. Maybe we could all use a little behavioral sequencing? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.